Hi, my name's Mike. I'm the guy responsible for Wordsworth Model Railway. Also the gentleman that's responsible for the kits that you find on the website. Today what we're going to talk about is the Hornby Class N2. What we're going to do is fit this particular model with a decoder. It's not actually DCC ready. It's a standard 12 volt model, quite old as you can see by the packaging, and what we're going to do is get this from its box, take off the casing, show you how simple it is to convert one of these lovely models so it can run on DCC. So let's begin. Let's get this model out from the box. Remove the sleeve, pull out the poly tray, and then just pop out the model from the foam. Right. What we'll do is we'll just get rid of this so that we have a nice clean workspace. So this is the model. It's slightly weathered, which is something that we don't normally see on Wordsworth. Everything's squeaky clean, as I'm sure a lot have picked up, but let's see how we go. Okay, before we actually strip down this this model, what we've got to do is get the rolling road, get some tools ready, and obviously all the decoder little bits that we might need. So first thing we'll do is we'll run the model on 12 volt DC to make sure that she runs fine. Okay, so here we are. We've got an old piece of track, DCC Concepts rolling roads, great piece of kit, and what you do is you just gently place the model onto the rolling road which is in contact with the track. That is now ready to accept power and we can test the motor. Okay, so here we go. We've got the model set up. It's on the rolling road. Like I said, this model hasn't been run for some time now, so she might be a little bit growly to start with. So let's see how she actually sounds. Something that hasn't been run for a while, she's not too bad given the motor that's inside. So what we'll do is we'll let this motor run in forward for about 10 minutes or so. What we'll do then is switch it over, let it run in reverse for 10 minutes, and then I feel quite happy that we should get a decoder into this model without any problems. So let's just leave her running for a while. Okay, here we are. She's been running in reverse now for about 10 minutes or so. What we're going to do is slow her down and bring her to a stop on the rolling road. There we go. Now for the fun. Right, here we go then. What we need to do is get the locomotive so we can work on it. I'm going to place it upside down And the first thing we will remove is the rear pony truck. I'll try and keep my hands out of camera shot so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so there's the pony truck. One single screw removes the pony truck. What you've then got is, just bear with me. Right, next screw is the one right at the front, next to the front coupling. Right, one screw, put it with the pony truck. Let's see. And she just lifts right out. We'll move that to one side. And flip her over. Now you can see the motor that's inside. There we go. And this should be a nice simple conversion to DCC. So let me try and show you the contacts that we're going to have to clip and resolder to the decoder. That's one connection here, which will have to be unsoldered, and the other one is round here, and it's a brass sleeve that runs all the way around, and the connection is just down here. And then you've got your suppression capacitor here, which will get cut out completely, and then you're left with your two wires from your pickups, and then your two wires go into these brass connections. Okay, sorry about that. Took a little bit of a coughing fit there, and I'm sure you don't want to hear me coughing everywhere. Right, like I said, let's get this cut. What we're going to do is snip that wire, and we're going to snip the other end of the capacitor, that wire. That then leaves your motor feeds, or should I say your pickup feeds, and you just need to remove this little section, which is soldered on rather well. So we'll just go back in with the cutters. There's that. What we'll do is tidy this section up, remove that. Right. And then the capacitor needs to come off this section, like so. That just needs to go into the bin. So we've now got our two motor pickups from the left and right rails. Remove this because it's no longer needed. There's the left motor connection, and there's the right motor connection. Now you could unsolder these and connect your decoder straight onto those, but I've got big fingers and my soldering skills are a little bit slap hazard, so I'm going to leave these tails on and I'll actually connect to there, and the other two wires go to there. And then we've got some heat shrink sleeve, which is this stuff that goes on. You make your connections and then you use a special hot air tool, and that shrinks it down and actually insulates your connection so that you're not going to touch any of these metal parts and short the decoder out. Okay then, what we now got, we've got the 4 little sections of heat shrink that we require, and then this is the decoder that I'll be fitting. It's just a standard Bachmann 3-function decoder. Some people really hate these, but for a model like this it's nice, simple and cheap. I bought about 20 of these in bulk and it worked out just under £8 a piece a few years ago, and I've still got a few knocking about. Let's get the decoder from the box. I mean, standard stuff. I mean, here we go. Your instructions are here, and your decoder is inside this poly bag. Okay, I've zoomed out a little bit so you can get a general idea of what we're doing. This is the decoder, and it's a standard 8-pin decoder. This particular model doesn't have a socket for this to go in, so what you do is you just clip that off. All you're interested in are 4 of these wires. So the 4 wires that we want: orange, and grey. They go to your motor, and your red and black are your pickups. These 3, should I say 4 wires, you don't need. All I do with those is twist them together and then we'll drop some insulation tape just so that they can't come in contact with anything. There we go. Right, what we'll do is we'll prep these ends. Okay, we've prepared the ends of each of these wires and you've now got the copper strands exposed. The next task is one of these heat shrinks onto each wire. Oops. And the last one. There we go. Right. What we need now is the soldering iron, and we'll connect the orange wire here to the motor pickup and the grey wire to the other motor pickup. We will then do the red and the black to these 2 wires which go to the left and right rail motor pickups. Okay, we've now got the decoder soldered onto the chassis, and we've got the heat shrinks in place. Now what you should use is it's an electrically heated unit to actually shrink these down. I haven't got one of those, so I use a Dremel. You just have to be careful not to get this hot air gun too close to the plastic, otherwise it will scorch, it carbonizes, and it then starts conducting electricity, so you don't want that. So let's see it in action. Okay, we've got it on, and you can feel the heat from there, so you don't want to get too close to the model or the decoder. But basically you just generate your heat. Let's do it the other way, and then the heat's away from the motor, but you apply the heat and you just get it to shrink down. Right, we've got one, and goes the other one. Let's get these. Seem to be having problems with one where it doesn't want to shrink. Let's see if we can get it. There she goes. Right, that's enough. Turn that off. Put it back on its metal tray, because you don't want that rolling onto anything flammable. That's the connections made. Now the decoder on this particular model fits nicely. I don't know if you can see that, but you've got the chimney stack down there, and the decoder will slip nicely into there, so it's not interfering with the weight or the motor, and all the connections are insulated. So let's put it all back together. Okay, so we've now got the motor body back onto the chassis, all the wirings tucked away. It's now ready for testing on DC. Once we've done that, we can then take it to the programming track on the DCC layout and get the address programmed. I'll do that in the next short video. Thank you.